Hello, listeners. This is Kat, and welcome back to Put Your Hands Up Podfics. This will be the continuation of Little Acts of Kindness. This will be part 102, chapter 102, entitled School Activities. Tuesday and Wednesday passed quickly, with the students starting to loosely study for the finals that would take place in 2 weeks. Denki had invited the sleepover boys, as he called their group, to his house Tuesday afternoon, and they had all gone over and studied together. Denki's mom seemed really friendly and happy that they were helping Denki to study. Otherwise, nothing of interest really seemed to happen. The days at school passed by like normal, with them doing various training to prepare for the real world. Tuesday, they had another battle trial, like the second day of school, where the class saw how much they'd improved via these 2 versus 2 fights. Izuku had been paired with Shinso, and they had to fight against Todoroki and Yaoyorozu. And they had put up a good fight, but Yaoyorozu and Todoroki managed to beat them. The next day had also been fairly normal, and the training had been in Field New, which was new to the students. It was a training field with various simulated backgrounds, from a populated street to out-of-the-way alleyways to forested fields. Anywhere where they could possibly imagine had a small section devoted to it for them to practice fighting. There was Aizawa, All Might 13, and a guest hero called Captain Selkie, who Izuku learned Asui had interned with. The group taught them about different fighting maneuvers, whether on land or in the sea. After Foundational Heroics, Izuku went to his weekly meeting with Snipe, which had also gone well, and the support gear instructor seemed to think he had a good handle of the gun. "Snipe-sensei," Izuku asked, towards the end of the lesson. "Yes, Midoriya?" the teacher asked. "Is a gun really still the best support gear for me, given I've bonded with Yamada-sensei?" he asked. He still felt a bit nervous around Snipe, and worried that the teacher might still be a bit upset at him for punching him. The teacher didn't seem to mind, having accepted Izuku's apologies and saying that while he might have jumped the gun, it was still good he was looking out for others. "Yes, voice is a good ranged offensive quirk, but it also is dangerous to use, because using it incorrectly can result in injuries to innocent civilians or surroundings. A gun, on the other hand, can be more precise at range, given you have enough skill." Izuku nodded. That made sense to him. "The gun most likely will never be your primary tool, but it is a good backup, for the times when you can't rely on your quirks," the man said. "Now, I'll see you next week," Snipe said, giving a nod. See you then," Izuku replied, turning, a smile coming to his face as he saw Aizawa standing by the door, leaning against the wall and slurping on a jelly packet. "Ready to go home, kiddo?" the man asked. Izuku's reply took a moment. "Yeah." If Aizawa noted the pause, he didn't comment on it, and just led him to the car. He and Yamada drove him home, where Izuku said goodbye to them. The two had decided to take him home Wednesdays and Thursdays, when Izuku had to stay longer after school for his lessons with Snipe, or his counseling with Hound Dog. Today was Thursday, and Izuku felt a bit tired. Kaida had been a complete menace last night, as they had a small power outage lasting for 10 minutes. His room had been wrecked, and he had only just managed to stop Zur from making them exit the house. The battery-powered flashlight he had tried to activate had not helped much. "Yaoyorozu, if it's not too big of a deal, could you make me a high-intensity battery-powered flashlight?" he asked. Kaida whined apologetically, and he patted Zur. "Of course, it's no problem," she said, and soon handed him the light. He gave her a grateful smile. The day passed until it was Foundational Heroics, and Aizawa grinned at them, causing the class to shudder. "Time for Gym Iota," he said. They went to the locker rooms, changed, and went to the gym, where Aizawa stood with Amajiki, a third year, who Izuku had met and spoken with a bit during Gym Ada. The third year looked a bit flustered. "Good. You're all here. Today you'll be doing hard mode, Aizawa said. What? But we haven't even beaten medium mode, Kirishima exclaimed, getting various nods of agreement. Unlike easy and medium mode, in hard mode, you are the one being pursued. To get you ready for the finals, you'll be doing hard mode in its own hard mode, Aizawa said. While I have asked Amajiki to not use his full skills on you, he will still be representing someone with more experience than you. Your goal is to simply escape from him. You will start on this side of the city and try to get to the other side. It can be at any point. None of you will be allowed to watch the other person's attempt. You will wait outside of the gym, and we will call you in one by one, Aizawa informed. The students left and waited outside of the gym. One by one they were called in. Izuku was one of the last students to be called, only Mineta and Yaoyorozu behind him. He took place at the starting spot, seeing Amajiki behind him by 10 steps, and he would have 3 seconds of a head start. Ready, set, go, Aizawa said. Izuku activated One for All and leapt dashing through the streets. Amajiki, though, was surprisingly fast, and he could see the boy running on all fours below him. Izuku landed down, and Amajiki leaped at him, one hand a giant mass of tentacles trying to wrap around him. Kaida growled, growing in size, and scratched at the tentacles, preventing them from grabbing him. Izuku's eyes flashed red, and the tentacles and other animal body parts disappeared. Still looking at the boy, Izuku gave another powered leap backwards, twisting himself in the air as he fled. He managed to get across before Amajiki caught up with him again. On the other side, there was an exit he was told to go out, which explained why none of his classmates had come back. He went through and saw his classmates. Did you pass? Denki asked. Izuku nodded. Congrats, man, Kirishima said. You're the 9th person to pass. If both Mineta and Momo pass, we can claim half our class passed the hard mode and hard mode, he exclaimed. Bakugo scoffed. I don't think the creep can pass, he said. Hey now, Mineta's been practicing really hard lately, Denki said, defending his friend. Bakugo huffed. Mineta's also been sticking to his promise to the girls to do better, Shoji added. Denki rubbed the back of his neck. Dude's making me feel like I'm falling behind even further with how much he's improved in the usage of his quirk over the school year, he admitted. You've gotten better as well, Izuku said. Denki gave a small smile at that, glancing away. A couple minutes later, Mineta came in. Did you pass? Ashido asked. Yeah, barely, Mineta admitted. You'll have to tell us how, but wait for Yaoyorozu first. We figured those who wanted to share how they passed or failed could do so once everyone arrived, Zero said. All right, we just need Momo to pass, Hagakure said excitedly. Why do we need her to pass? Mineta asked. If she does, she'd be the 11th person to pass, and we can say that half of our class passed, Kirishima exclaimed. About 5 minutes later, the vice president came in. Did you pass? Kirishima asked, looking excited. Yes, I did, she said. Kirishima, Denki, Ashido, and a few other classmates cheered, leaving Yaoyorozu looking confused. Our classmates are excited that half of our class has passed Aizawa-sensei's challenge, Tenya said, giving a hand-chopping motion. Oh, Yaoyorozu said, giving a small smile. I'm glad so many of us could pass on the first attempt, she said. The door opened, and Aizawa came in. Congratulations to those who passed. You may use the rest of the lesson to visit other training gyms and use the various UA facilities. For those of you who failed, you will be staying with me to attempt the challenge again. Groans rang out, and students split, with Kirishima telling them to text the group chat about how they passed or failed if they wanted. Before they managed to leave, Aizawa called out. Also, get plenty of rest. The principal will be taking over your foundational heroics tomorrow. An almost collective shudder went through the class. After that bit of ominous news, though, they were allowed to leave. Izuku made his way to Gym Sigma and activated the controls for the voice gym. With that, he started practicing, this time aiming for specific volumes, using one of the other features that would measure how loud he was being, and show with a helpful graph what he would be breaking or damaging. Even as he practiced, Izuku once more noticed how his voice quirk was different from Yamada's. Unlike Yamada, whose voice went all out around him, needing the directional speaker to focus, Izuku could focus his into a cone in front of him. He practices until the school day is over, and then he leaves, taking the train back to his neighborhood. He walked out and walked the path back to his apartment. Things went by normally for the most part, but it was as he was passing by a park he heard shouting. "Leave me alone!" a younger voice shouted. Izuku turned his head and saw a slightly younger blonde male, judging by the school uniform, who was surrounded by some other teenagers. He found himself heading in that direction as one of the other teenagers punched the blonde. He quickly arrived and stood in front of the blonde, still in his UA uniform. "Leave him alone," Izuku stated, trying not to stammer. "Who the hell are you?" one guy asked. "Anzen. Dude, stop, that's a UA student," another said. The green-haired boy, Anzen, looked at him, and his eyes widened, and he huffed, turning and leaving without a further word, followed by the others. Izuku gave a bit of a relieved breath and turned to the blonde. "Hey, are you okay?" he asked the red-eyed kid. "Yeah," the other responded. Izuku held a hand out to help the kid up. The boy on the ground from the punch Izuku had been too slow to stop. A clawed hand reached up, taking his hand. Izuku lifted the blonde up. "Thank you for helping," the boy said, who Izuku now realized was taller than him. "It's no problem. It's a hero's duty to help others," Izuku said with a small smile, shuffling a bit nervously, still wary of the other, even if they were younger than him. The blonde gave a small blink. "I suppose it is," he said. "But you're not a hero yet," the other pointed out. "Not yet, but one day I will be," Izuku said. "What's your name?" I'm supposed to try and keep my civilian name more private, so is my hero name okay?" Izuku asked, remembering a recent lesson the teachers had given this week. The blonde nodded. "I'm Ark, the helping hero," he said. "Nice to meet you, Ark. I'm Kyo Mortis," the boy introduced. "Mortis!" a voice called out, sounding concerned, and Izuku saw a shorter, more chubby boy running over. The boy had black hair and black eyes with white irises. "Are you okay? I'm sorry I'm late. Who's that?" the dark-haired boy asked, teeth razor-sharp, like Kirishima's. "I'm fine, Kobun. This future hero-to-be helped me," he said. The red-eyed blonde gave a nod to him. "I'll keep an eye out for you on the news, in the future," Kyo said, smiling, and then he left, the dark-haired boy following him. Izuku didn't say that he was going underground, and just continued to make his way back home, feeling happy about managing to help someone, even if it was just to stop some bullying from going on. All right, listeners, this concludes Chapter 102 of Little Acts of Kindness. Chapter 103 will be next, which will be including Nezu's simulated facility that he's putting together. So let me know your thoughts, reactions in the comments below to everything that's happened in this chapter and so far within the fic. And as always, thank you all so much for listening.